Hi guys, Liam here from Powered Now. I'm joined by my colleague Luke. I'm sure you've all seen Luke's face before. Anyone that's attended a training session, Luke would have looked after you. So, wanted to introduce you today to our webinar. We're going to be covering some webinars in Powered Now. The reason for doing this is just to show you a little bit more of the software. We understand that a lot of our users potentially only use smaller parts and maybe just for certificates or quoting or invoicing similarly. So this webinar is all about showing you something you may not be using, showing you the benefits, understanding them features inside Powered Now. See if we can get you using it and get you understanding it. So today's webinar is going to be about the diary. So Powered Now's diary is very powerful. It's got a number of different features in there, a number of different benefits. So today we want to cover those benefits and those features. So firstly, what are these benefits of Powered Now's diary? So we hear it a lot from our customers, how it can keep them organized, keep them structured. But I think the most important and key factor is never lose your diary. We hear horror stories all the time from our customers with regards to the little black book that's kept in the van. And obviously that can be left in a number of places or just lost. And it can be a whole business that can go down the toilet just because of this loss of this black book. So most important key feature of Powered Now's diary is you're never going to lose that diary. It's backed up, it's secure. It obviously is on all devices. If you're on multi-users, it syncs across platforms so all engineers and staff members can see it. And if you ever lose your device, you just buy a new one, log in with the same credentials onto Powered Now, and everything is still there. All remembered, all backed up and secure. So really key point is you're never going to lose your business or your diary. Like I mentioned, other things is keeping things organized. So there's changes in business that happen frequently. There might be engineers that are in and out of the business. So you've got the option to update people, have engineers assigned to jobs, make sure that they're communicating with not only the office but also the customers. So the communication is a real big key point in Powered Now. Every time you create an appointment, you can notify your customer of the job and the time. You can let them know by messaging or email if you're just running around the corner a bit late, or if you need to remind yourself of picking up something on the way to the particular job. There's got all of these features and functionality inside the software. So it's really cool to keep this loop of communication going and not just booking it in the diary and hoping that customer remembers. You've got other things like adding values to the diary where you can maximize profits in a day, making sure that you're getting the most value out of your particular work day. Recurring works in there. So if you've got ongoing jobs, you can do recurring things like that. But I think, again, one of the big key points is it's fast, it's easy to use, it's just a few clicks here and there. And from the appointment and diary, it links to the projects, and we'll cover that in another webinar, but everything then is stored and all linked back to your customers from a couple of key areas. So I think that's enough covering of the benefits. And I think what we should do now is get you into the system and actually show you some of these benefits in action. So I'll pass you over to my colleague Luke, and he'll show you these benefits inside Powered Now. So Luke, over to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Liam. So yeah, hello everyone. I'm just going to share my screen now with you. So yeah, obviously we've probably gone through this workflow if you've had a training session with me at some point. So let's just share the screen and yeah, just bring up Power Now's home screen on here. So from the home screen, again, a couple of places that you can just look initially. You've got the agenda on the home screen of the diary as well. So you can see a list of appointments or reminders that are upcoming. The top left, you've just got the diary tab. Obviously, it's slightly different with the mobile version. There's a little tab button at the top left of the screen, which will bring out that side menu for you. So yeah, we'll just hop into the diary. So on the mobile version, obviously, we have slightly different views of the diary. So we have 1 day, 3 day, and monthly view. On the desktop version and tablet version, we have day, week, 14-day, monthly, and agenda. In the new version coming very soon, we will have another option here, which we'll cover in a little while. So so yeah, from the diary view, we've got a couple of bits that are worth noting. So again, we've got the different views. We can switch between the days of the diary nice and easily with the arrow button. If you want to go back to today's date, you just click the today button. At the top right of the screen, we've got an add button, which will allow you to add an appointment or reminder in the system. And at the top, we can filter whose diary. So I'm on a single user account at the moment, but this will allow you to filter whoever's diary you're seeing. So yeah, so normally the preferred view is sort of the week view of the diary, which is quite helpful, just to give you a clear indication of what you've got coming over the week. So let me just hop into this quote job appointment that I made earlier. It's quite simple. So once the appointment's been created, you've got a couple of things that you can do. Again, like what Liam mentioned, a few of the benefits are checking in and out of the appointment. This will show where you've checked in and out of the appointment as well. So it will give you a total time accumulated over the job. So whilst I'm carrying out the appointment and the work, you've got appointment statuses at the top as well. So we can put in custom statuses to color code the diary to however you need it to, which is really good. Just obviously once an engineer maybe completed an appointment, you can then update the status to the relevant status at that point. So a couple of other things. So you've got from location and from office. That would just give you a distance calculator if you do charge your customers for the fuel. We've got a couple of other things here. So we can open the project, which will open all the history of the document, any certificates or invoices that are associated to this job specifically. Send a message. So this will allow me to send an email or text message if I added a mobile number directly to the contact, which will then display in the project as well. So that will give you a good history of whatever correspondence has been sent to the customer. And then if we scroll down, so I've added some notes into here. You can export the appointment to an ICS file as well if you want to import that into your iCalendar. And then at the bottom left, which is quite a common workflow for engineers, is the ability to add notes. A manual time log, we're all human, so if you forgot to log in, you can just enter a manual time log against the job. Photos, they can all be uploaded. So on the desktop, you've got a couple of options: upload images from your gallery, Google Drive and Dropbox. If you're on a mobile, it will have an additional option here, and it will say capture image. And then obviously we one at the bottom, which is add forms. So you can have a number of forms, obviously specific to your industry, or we've got measurement forms, site visit forms, we've got job completion forms, all customizable as well, which we'll probably cover on another webinar. So that's pretty much what you can do from the appointment side of things. I'll just go and create an appointment just to show you through if there's any other pieces that you wanted to cover through this. So we've got like from the appointments page, you can then just quite simply select the customer and the project if it's open. If not, we'll just click none of the above. Then you can choose unplanned for the day and unplanned. That will display in the agenda view of the diary. That won't physically display in the diary itself. Really easy to just select a date and time of the appointment, as you can see. You can also view the diary from here, so just make sure you're not overbooking anything in the diary from there. We've got recurring appointments as well, so we can cover that in a little while in relation to just anything that you need to go through. So we've got the description, so just put title in there and job notes as an example. So yeah, and then you can just notify the customer when the appointment's been created. That will get sent to the customer via text and email, as Liam said earlier. And then you've just got the enable reminder system as well. So if you want a quick set a reminder just to allocate time for travel, you'll be able to do so just in there. And then apart from that, let's just click save. And that's the appointment. Obviously, as I've overbooked it because of the previous appointment, it will just allow me to move to the time after for that appointment, so we don't overbook anything.
Yeah, it's a really great feature there. So just touching on that, obviously, if you do have a busy schedule, busy diary, lots of engineers in here, it's very easy to maybe duplicate a booking or overbook yourself in the diary. And the system will always give you that conflict of interest. If you have overbooked something, you can move it around and you can override it as that capability. But it's really important for us to give you that understanding that, look, you may have made a mistake. And these things can happen in the business. So yeah, absolutely. It's a great feature there. So thanks for that, Luke. Yeah, that covers really a lot of sort of powered now and really around that appointment card. So I know that everyone wants to know what's coming in Powered Now. So it's we have a wish list, as everyone understands, at Powered Now, and we like to build our software around really what you guys are asking for and what helps you in the business and what will help you going forward. So we are imminently looking at releasing our new version. So it's coming early next year. It's version 9. And we have been mentioning this for a little bit of time. It's got some great features in there. And I know that the diary's had a big overhaul in Powered Now on version 9. So we want to give you a little sneaky peek under the covers, just to see what these new features will do. It'd be great to get some feedback and some understanding from some of our subscribers on how this could benefit them. And obviously, when the beta version is available, if anyone wants any interest or getting this early access, do let us know. We can give people some early access. So, Luke, if you can just talk them through some of these new features in V9, we've got some screenshots to show you, and it'd be really great to get some understanding of that.
No problem. Well, yeah, as you can probably imagine, that there's probably quite a few of you that I've already spoke to you about the new features coming in V9. So let me just go and sort of summarize just specifically around the diary for this for the screenshot side of things. And as Liam said, obviously we will offer a beta version as well if anyone is interested in that. So let's just hop onto the screen again. And yeah, let's just move this 0 thing out of the way. There we go. Perfect. Right. Okay. So we've got the first big change will be, as I mentioned just when I was going through the diary, there is another view of the diary, which is a scheduled view. So as you can see, obviously I've only got a one user system at this point, but what would happen is you have a scrollable diary horizontally instead of the vertical diary that we've currently got. This is really good because you can have under the name column, you can have a list of your team, and you can obviously allocate appointments into the diary. You can clearly indicate whether any of your engineers are available for a last minute emergency appointments or anything like that. It just gives you a good overview of what teams could be available, and yeah, just a slightly different view to what we currently have. On the left side, we've got unplanned appointments. So again, previous to our diary change a few years ago, we had the drag and drop feature of unplanned appointments. We've actually brought that back in with the scheduled view. You can see really simple, just a drag and drop feature into the appointment, which will notify the customer as well, I believe. So
Yeah, and a lot of our customers were looking for this drag and drop feature. They wanted to have some engineers along the side and some sort of dates and times, and be able to drag these engineers just into a job really fast and efficient. So I think this will benefit a lot of our large multi-user customers as well. Just the ease and functionality of allocating your staff to these jobs will really, really help here.
Definitely, yeah, and another thing that will be coming, which I'll show you in the latest slide, is the ability for existing customers to book via our customer portal. So you can either allow the customer to book directly into the diary, or they can be booked in an unassigned pot, which will be then obviously you give them a call, confirm that information, drag that in, they'll receive the confirmation of the of that. So yeah, very big
Sign
changes coming to
features.
the diary. Yeah, definitely. So moving on next. So again, we've currently had appointment and reminder. There's going to be a slight change. Again, we'll probably cover this on another webinar with the HR side of things. But we do have appointments where we assign that to a customer and project, a task, lead, or action, but it doesn't have to be associated to a customer or project. So this can just be for anyone in the business. Holiday, sickness, and or other so you're able to allocate that in the diary. Well, there was a current sort of workaround where you just created contact name sickness. That will no longer be needed because you can actually physically book out anyone in the diary, and then reminders. So that's obviously what we've currently got down here. So we have a new feature as well, which is appointment types. So for anyone, sort of, obviously there's so many different industries that use Powered now. It can be very varied with the services that you offer. Some of the appointments can be very similar. You can probably see yourself typing out the same stuff a couple of times. So in here, you have the option to build a set template appointment, which you can select from a drop down when creating the appointment. You can then allow the external and internal side of things as well. So obviously it can be booked within Power Now, but then, like I said, as customers will be able to book via the customer portal, you can choose whether they are able to book this appointment type.
Yeah, I know a lot of customers were looking at this feature again. So again, when it comes to this, people were a bit apprehensive to allow customers just to book straight into their diary, and we completely understand that. So we've got the functionality to completely disable all of this functionality. But one of the great things is these jobs here are only able to be booked directly into your diary from the customer portal. So if you have specific jobs you want to be able to allocate your customers to book in, so say service, boiler servicing each year, some maintenance jobs, ongoing landscaping, them sort of particular jobs that might be recurring, very simple template in here to allow your customer to book will really, really save you some time and effort. But again, there is that functionality to disable it if it's just you wanting to keep control of that diary.
Definitely. Yeah, and that goes perfectly onto the next slide. So one, allowing the customer to book online, and choosing the appointment, so the default appointment text as well. So this will allow you to display the cost. If you have set, like Liam mentioned, if you have set costs in the business like annual servicing that doesn't change, or someone would like to book a breakdown, yeah, it would be very helpful. Again, maybe not just for private customers with one property, it can be used for larger customers as well. So they'll have one central location to look at all appointments. They can look at all invoices and what addresses they're associated to as well, which would be very helpful. And then, yeah, obviously you have the appointment status. So this is how the customer would book in the diary. So you can leave it as, so you can physically allow them to book in there, or you've got the option, you can move it to an unplanned appointment. Just moving on, a couple of other changes to the diary as well. So we have obviously how you would like the diary, well, what information you would like to populate on the diary initially. So you can put it as standard, which will just populate the appointment title, address, and then description, and you can do it like that, or you can put like address as the most important, and so on and so forth. Appointment color as well. So currently we have the initial of whoever's assigned to the appointment and their color. Also on the left hand side, we have the appointment status, like was mentioned just on here, the appointment status just there. That will be slightly different because you can now, I believe, make the whole appointment status the color, or whoever is assigned to it, you can make that appointment, you can make the appointment, whoever's assigned to its color as well. So, and this will give you a little preview from there. And then, yeah, obviously appointment statuses. So currently we can't filter the diary by status. However, this is going to be coming in the new version. And then we also have, which will be very, very helpful for anyone using the diary, will be the inbuilt navigation. So we have an integration with Waze, and I believe sort of your default Google Maps, I believe. So yeah, you can just select that from the appointment, go and click, go to Navigator, and then yeah, you can get on your way to your jobs.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've tried to squeeze this gap on the diary and try to give it a bit more functionality, more usability, make things a little bit easier, a bit clearer as well, more organized. So the color coding, like I say, the appointment status is updating things, keeping values and things in there, and just the overall look and feel of the diary. In my opinion, I would be biased, but it seems so much slicker, so much more efficient, and we hope that you feel the same too with regards to it. So really appreciate that, Luke. Thanks for taking us through that.
No
Again, obviously, I want to mention that there's early access to this. It's not quite there yet, but we're getting nearly there. So again, if you have any sort of questions or want to know a bit more about version 9, or sort of want to see that early access, just drop us a message to support@powerednow.com, or just come into the chat system and we can definitely look after you there. So look, coming towards the end of this webinar in the diary, and before we go, I do have some questions from the people that have joined us. So I appreciate everyone's time and effort today that have come along. But we do have some questions. So I'm just going to hop over to these questions now and see what's there. So the first question is, Luke, I struggle with current appointments. Can you just talk me through that?
No problem. Right, let's just hop on the screen. So recurring appointments is a way of looking at it, a mass creation of appointments in the diary. Okay, so sometimes yeah, it's just really a case of understanding how it works. Like a lot of things with system, with any software, it's just learning how to use it. So let's go and create a brand new appointment. So I'm going to use the same project and customer that I made the appointments for previously, obviously selecting the right site address. So we have recurring just here. So if we just enable recurring to start with. So we've got repeat is the amount of appointments you would like in the diary. So what we're going to do, we're going to repeat this appointment 4 times. And we can choose every 7 days. So that would be an appointment once a week at this date and time for 4 weeks, if you wanted to do it that way. Again, if you have another option, you've got a few drop downs here, so you can do one every year, you can do one every month if you wanted to, or you've got the week. So if you have like a bi-weekly appointment, so every couple of weeks, you can just pop in there. So every 4 appointments every 2 weeks if you wanted to. But for our one, we're just going to click 4 times for every 1 week on there. And a good way of just working this out, pretty much, if you just click save, it will ask you the date of the first appointment, the date of the last appointment, which will populate for you. So there we go. So yeah, once you've done that, just click OK. So I'll click no, obviously with the overbooking of the diary. And you can see we've got that test appointment. So let's just hop onto the week view. We've got the test appointment here and on the last appointment here on the 27th. Just to bear in mind, so when you when you create an appointment, it won't actually assign the same engineer to the appointment. Obviously, in different weeks, you might have different rotas and stuff like that as well. So it's always worth just going in and assigning the correct person to the job after. But yeah, I hope that answers your query.
Perfect. Cheers, Luke. Another question here from Paul. How do I show my reminders in the diary?
Okay, so reminders from initial setup, they don't actually display when you first sign up. But if you need to enable them, a couple of settings, it'll be very easy to just go and enable. So you just hop into the settings cog, go to general settings at the top. Bearing in mind, in the new version, this probably will change because there'll be a new tab, which will be diary, which will appear just below tax and accounting. So for the moment, though, it's the diary tab, the general tab, and then you hop into the diary just here. So we've got show document status, so whether a document has been accepted or rejected, and then we've just got enable reminder in the diary. So there we go.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question. Nice, easy way of doing it. Question here from Dan. Dan mentions, I've accidentally deleted an appointment. How can I get this back?
Okay.
We hear that a lot, Dan,
yeah,
don't worry.
so yeah, we do hear that a lot. That's no problem. So first thing would be to just let me move that out of the way. So first thing we would do is pop us a message. We can't actually delete, obviously restore it directly from the account. So again, we'll just hop into the chat message under the help center, go into the chat button, click get help, write your email in, what your query is. If there's a few key bits of information that we need, will be what account it was done from. So obviously your email, which we'll get initially, what device it was done from and what time. And then we can use sort of a time machine thing that we've got on our admin system, get that restored for you. And yeah, you panic over.
Yeah, we've got some wonders on the time machines internally at Powered now. Great, thanks, Luke. Last question here. We'll hop over to Facebook, see if there's anything on there. But the last question here is, where can I find all my unplanned appointments?
Okay, so you've got a couple of places for that. One, again, being in the reports where you can export all your appointments, look at all unplanned appointments from there. You can view any unplanned appointments within the contact record of the customer in the project as well. But if you want to look at an overview of all unplanned appointments in the diary, the best place to go to is the agenda. You can see a full list of appointments in here. And then on the right-hand side, you've got a drop down. So you've got notifications of when the client's accepted or rejected the quote. Got the appointments, which are just general appointments that have been planned in the diary. Unplanned, obviously, as you mentioned there. So this is how you can view all unplanned appointments. If you've got any and you need to make it a planned appointment at that point, all you would just do is click the appointment description edit the appointment, and then that will assign it in the diary once you've assigned a time to it. But yeah, I hope that answers your query.
Awesome, thank you. Let me just hop over to Facebook. Bear with me. Oh, there's one on there. Oh, sorry, two questions. First question is, why can't I have a weekly view on mobile? I think it may be sort of
Due to,
self-explanatory, that one.
yeah, I think, well, obviously, due to the size of a mobile, I know they are, well, they probably
They're
will be
getting
the
bigger.
size of a laptop, yeah, but
Yeah.
give it a couple of years, they will be. But yeah, obviously, I think when it's just due to the size of a mobile, obviously, we only have 1 day, 3 day, and monthly view currently. But yeah, that's currently the best way of doing it.
Cheers. Right. Oh, no, two more. Sorry, another one's just come in. How can I see if my customer has seen the confirmation email regarding an appointment?
Okay, so regarding an appointment, I've just got well, you can look in the project, or if you just hop into the appointment itself. So let's just go back to today's date. So we can just hop into the appointment here and then scroll down to, it would have the confirmation here. So whether it was sent via
Okay.
text or email. Let me just go and make one quick. I can show you. We've got that. There we go. So yeah, let's just go and enable that now. Send message to customer. And then there we go. So you can see that that's been opened. Well, you can see that that's been sent to the customer, and you'll know that it's been opened because the little envelope will open there, and it will just say the sent date as well.
Awesome. Thank you. One last question is, where can I find out more information about Powered Now? I think I can cover that one, Luke. I think you've
Okay,
covered enough.
no
I
problem.
think, like everything, just give us a call or speak to us on the chat system. I think a lot of customers come to Powered Now trying to use a bit of it, like we mentioned at the beginning. They want to get some of the use out of the software, but don't get the full use out of the software. So, by all means, we offer one-to-one training sessions. There's Luke and his team that are very capable of walking you through understanding maybe your workflows in business. We appreciate not everybody uses Powered Now to the way that they should, or maybe the way they want to, but there's ways that we can interact with you and maybe work with your workflow to get things moving a bit smoother and a bit slicker. Ultimately, Powered Now is meant to be the number one kit in your bag. So if it's number one tool in your bag and it's giving you your business, your time back, and a bit of effort that needs to be cut in the business, then that's what we're here to do. So absolutely, just book in a training session with one of our team and we'll be happy to walk you through that. Absolutely. Right, I think that really comes to the end of our webinar today. Is there anything you would like to mention more at all, Luke?
No, again, just voicing what you've mentioned. Just pop us a message through the chat system. If you struggle with something, just let us know. We can either reply to your message, or we can just give you a quick call. Got a new little thing as well where we can just send you a quick link and show you through anything you can whilst you're on the go. So yeah, we can get anything done that you need to, and anything in the system that you want to use.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us today on our webinar. So like I mentioned, we will be trying to do these so maybe once a week, just to show you these parts of the software. So stay tuned to find out more. Cheers, guys.
Thanks.